All right, hello again. I made a video just a second ago. Here's my second video now. And this video is going to be about the progression of change. So I was talking to my mom recently about like diets and eating and food and all that stuff. And I was just kind of thinking about how it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I am now with the way that I eat food. And I think that diets are just a good example of this. You could apply this to kind of, I think, a lot of things in life. But I think the diets are a good example and a good, I guess a good reference. Anyway, I was thinking about how long it's taken me to get to where I am and kind of the progression that I've gone through to get here. Because when I first started out eating healthy, I would eat like raw spinach and like carrots and food that I knew was healthy, but that I really did not enjoy at all. But I knew it was healthy, and I was just trying to push through, and just change the way I was eating food. But I had learned that I was making too drastic of a change in my diet for it to work. I mean, that can work for a short-term period of time, and even for someone who's very disciplined. Like usually I'm very disciplined with a lot of different things. But even myself, I was like, okay, this isn't working very well because I just don't like eating raw spinach. And so there's this whole progression of where are you starting and where are you wanting to end, because where you start from, and it's going to change for different people, right? People are going to start from different places. Some people eat a box of donuts per day. They'll eat 12 donuts a day. They'll have dessert. They don't eat anything healthy. And so they've got a long ways to go. And some people are pretty close. You know, some people have maybe a bowl of ice cream at night or something, or they'll have one cheat meal per day, or one cheat meal per week even, which is really good. But there's this whole, you got to understand that there's a whole process to it. I think if you walk in hoping that you're going to just immediately change and immediately get to your end goal, I think that you're putting yourself in a position for failure and for disappointment. Because that's pretty unrealistic. I mean, I think it is possible. It's been done, like for actors in movies, where they'll get a role and they have to be in shape in a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever, and that works because it's exactly that. It's 3 months, and that's it. And then after that, they just go back to their old way. But I think to make lasting change, you have to be willing to go through the whole process. And I think that's kind of the hard part, is just fighting through all of the ups and downs of that process, because the process won't be perfect, obviously. I mean, you're gonna start out probably not doing a lot of things right, but you have to start there to get to where your end goal is. And if you don't start there, then you won't ever get to your end goal. Because I think you just have to understand that imperfection will be there, and you'll make mistakes along the way, and you'll change them, and you have to be willing to make those changes and just kind of go roll with the punches a little bit, I guess. Because I think that's a kind of a tricky thing, because looking back on the way that I used to eat, was I thought that I was eating healthy, and a lot of times I was, but then I would also eat, I mean, seriously, like a box of donuts for my cheat day sometimes. I would actually plan ahead for my cheat day and stock up on Twinkies and donuts and stuff, and I'd be eating, and I'd eat that all, like a ton of it in one day as a cheat day. And in a lot of ways, I think that destroyed my progress throughout the week. And I'd also like be eating, Skippy, and I wouldn't look at the ingredients on things. And looking back on it, I'm like, oh my goodness, how do you not think of that stuff? But the thing is, where I am now with my diet, which is relatively good compared to a lot of people, I think, I mean, you have to just start somewhere. And for me, that meant dialing it down to one cheat meal per week and eating a box of donuts. That's just what it meant for me. Because I used to eat like garbage all the time, no matter what. That's just how I ate food. That's just what I did. I ate dorm food. I drank beer. I was just consuming all this crap. And so for me, I had a long ways to go with my diet. I mean, there was a lot that I had to get rid of, and a lot that I had to replace it with as well, because I wasn't eating anything healthy. And so that was the beginning point for me, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I mean, there was plenty of things within my diet and within my workout regimen that I thought were good at the time, and in the end, they kind of were, because they got me here. And again, I'm still not perfect. There's still imperfections now, even after all of that time of screwing things up and having to learn from my mistakes. Even now, yes, I've learned from those mistakes, but I'm still making mistakes because again, no one's perfect for their entire life. It's just not possible. So I understand that while yes, I've made a lot of progress, and yeah, I'm happy with where I am now, I'm still imperfect. There's still plenty of things I can change about my diet. There's still plenty of things that I can change about my workouts. There's still plenty of imperfections within my life. And again, that's just, again, part of this lifelong journey. I think that the whole journey, it's a lifelong journey. It's not just a journey to a certain end point or to this little end point. Because once you get there, I don't think you should just stop. I think that you should always have another goal, another place to go, something else to shoot for. So even if you are satisfied with where you are, I think that eventually you'll get burnt out on that place. You'll have to be growing. I think you should be growing and progressing as a human until you die. And so I guess now we're kind of getting off topic a little bit here, but understand the process and be willing to progress through time, because, and I think diet's just a good example of that. So if you're eating like garbage all day long, it's just too steep of a drop off if you go from that to perfect eating like Dwayne Johnson. If you immediately start doing that, it's just not going to work, probably. And so be willing to just start somewhere and then adapt and change as you go, I guess, is kind of the main message. Okay. Yeah. I'm done now. All right. Roger out.